Hi, everybody. Welcome to Season 4, Episode 10 of High Scores, High Stakes, the podcast that wants to be scantily clad but always overdresses. I'm your host, as always, Mr. Luvva, and with me are my co hosts.
Howdy, lover. How the hell are you? Cardinal here.
Grand, Cardinal.
Evening, evening, everyone. Tomahawk here. I think we're all dosed with the cold, and I think everyone's just a little bit crabby at the minute this evening. So let's. I think
Good
we
to
should
hear
just get
from you,
straight
Tomahawk.
into it, shall we?
There's nothing quite like hearing that Tomahawk is happy to be here. He's just like,
I'm always happy to be here,
leave me
but I'm
alone.
just like, let's get this done. I am tired and full. I can't breathe. Anyone who
Leave
heard me
him
on
out of
Twitch
this.
the other day, I can't breathe.
Just in and out, Tom, the way you have been your whole life. In and out. And speaking of things being in and out, we have
Where's this
been
going?
doing a Macarena across the league table in season 4. So we have. Before we get into the league table, I'll explain what High Scores High Stakes is. High Scores High Stakes is 3 friends, 3 PlayStations, and we are competing against one another in PlayStation gaming challenges in our league table. When you win a challenge, you get 3 points. Come second place, you get 2 points, and last place gets 1 point. So the league, after 9 games, looks like this. In third place, on 30 points, is Tomahawk. In second place, on 31 points, is Cardinal. And in first place, also on 31 points, but they're on virtue of more challenge wins this season, it's the big dog of the podcast. It is me. I'm back where I belong, boys. Top of the tree, the Christmas tree, because it's near Christmas. On top of
I
the
mean,
tree,
he
I'm
was
like the
saying that.
fairy.
He's saying that now, but like what, 2 weeks ago, he was loitering at the bottom for the entirety of season 4 here. So it's
In the
good to know
does-
that
basement.
you've a
doesn't
skip in your
matter.
step now. Anyway, I mean,
It doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter how you got there. It's that you're there now. That's the way love is looking at it.
It doesn't matter where you were in weeks 1 to 9 at all. The record book only says who wins the league at the end of the season. That is it.
All to
And
play
right
for.
now, I'm on track for number 2. Tomahawk, that first cup for you. It's looking far away.
I mean, it's in
He
my
says there's
grasp.
1
It's
point.
eluding. I know 1 point, and we still got a season-long challenge. We've still got 3 more challenges to go. 2 more, 3 more. Yeah, 3 more challenges to go.
3 more.
All to
Maths.
play for.
It is all the play, but the league is as tight now as it has ever been. Usually Sherry was keeping us back,
600 points.
with like 6 points at this stage of the season. But we don't have Sherry anymore. So that means it has become super competitive. And I don't think that's going to stop this week. This week's challenge game, if you didn't guess from the little joke at the start, or if you didn't listen to the end of last episode, how dare you listen to the end? You'll know that our challenge game this week is Dead or Alive 5 final round. And it was an interesting game, but we'll park Dead or Alive 5 talk just for now, because it's not the game I want to talk about, not at all. I want to know, Cardinal, what are you playing?
Ooh. Well, this week, Mr. Lover, I have been playing mini game. I haven't settled on anything.
As he opens his Steam library.
Yeah.
I 100%. It's like, what, please? I played a bit of Stellaris, which is a space grand strategy thing, which is on PlayStation for once. There you go. And
It
Phasmophobia,
is.
if I'm honest. So, but
Yeah.
but that's roughly about it.
Yeah, they're 2 very different games, to be fair to you now.
One is to chill me out after playing the other.
Stellaris is stressful. You do need a good old fright to bring
Bit
the
of
heart rate
ghost
down.
hunting, just to cool off a day. Yeah.
So Stellaris and Phasmo.
Correct.
That's it. Beautiful work. Tomahawk, please save this segment.
Oh my
What are
goodness.
you playing?
Well, I'm just gonna sort of double up on Cardinal Smith here. Now, I've also been playing Phasmophobia as part of community nights on twitch.tv/ high scores high stakes. Check it out. It is actually pretty good fun. Between that, I haven't really done an awful lot of console gaming. I was playing Pokemon Red a couple of days through the week.
On
Just
OG
'cause why
hardware?
not?
Wow, the man is
OG
sick.
on OG hardware as well. Yeah.
Lovely. Lovely. The wee Game
Now
Boy
the
Color.
OG hardware is failing. It's absolutely tanking every battery that I have in the house. But I'm getting tis the season for batteries in the house, so supply
Just
is not in short demand.
just stop buying Daewoo batteries, mate. Buy some Duracells. Other
Buy
batteries are
decent
available.
batteries, so that's it.
Daewoo battery.
But yeah, no, OG hardware, 20 minutes just here and there. Just pick up a couple of Pokemon. I wanted to try and maybe do it as like a Nuzlocke type thing, but I couldn't be bothered. So we're just playing it straight up as
Yeah.
God intended.
Yeah. Pokemon Red and Blue. Really good games, but brutally unforgiving games too. I played it when it got re-released on the 3DS, and I forgot how hard it is to level up your team without XP share,
Yeah,
which was
exactly.
a massive game changer. A massive game changer. And trying to go back to Red and Blue was like, I forgot about this. Now I need to go kill Pidgeys in the long grass for the next hour and a half to get them
Yeah.
up to.
My plan is because I just want to kind of get through the game as quickly as possible, and because it's the arduous task of having to like fight a Pokemon, weaken a Pokemon, catch a Pokemon, train that Pokemon, even though I have no intention, because I'm just going to use my Bulbasaur for the entirety of the game. I want to see if I can just get away with only using one Pokemon, and then the rest will just
Bulbasaur.
have moves that will serve a purpose.
Bulbasaur. And that's your problem there, mate. That's why you're finding it so difficult. Bulbasaur. Awful. Leech Seed until level 26. Nah. Vine Whip and Leech Seed. What a moveset Bulbasaur has. Good lord.
You can clear the first two gym leaders in about 4 hits. So
Well,
that's
yeah, because it
pretty
has
much.
type advantage, like, but yeah. But no. After that, it just becomes brutally difficult. You need another starter or a really good fire type.
I miss the old days just using the transfer cable, and then you restart your game, transfer your starter Pokemon out, restart the game, transfer it out, restart it, transfer it out, and then you go and transfer them all back in, so you have all 3 starter Pokemon. But gone are the
Buy
days
Game
of the
Genie,
transfer
mate.
cable.
Just buy Game Genie for the Game Boy. Just cheat it.
Might do. God, this is the longest we've ever talked about Pokemon on a PlayStation
And
podcast. So
I'm
you're
glad it's
welcome.
over. Speaking of which,
Jesus.
Luvva,
Yes.
what are you playing?
I've been playing 2 games, Cardinal. You know what the first one is? It's
Stellaris.
Phasmophobia. I'm absolutely
Definitely
still
Phas.
obsessed with it. Nearly 30 hours since Halloween on Phasmophobia. It's crazy. Crazy amount of time to play in any game, to be honest. And then the second one is I restarted Tomb Raider 2013. Been playing through
Oh,
that.
nice.
It's a really good game. It's a really good game. It's very slow at the start. It's all very tutorial heavy and all the good stuff,
Oh,
but it is actually I forgot how good it is. I forgot how
my
hard
favorite
it
thing
is.
about Tomb Raider is that whole bit at the start where she kills the first like soldier on the island, and she has this like existential crisis about having killed a man. And
Mhm.
then that's immediately like, I'm just gonna kill everybody and not feel a thing.
Yeah, the first, the
That's
worst.
that scene is really really funny because I remember I remember that scene dragging on, but it's literally her having a wee cry, and then you see torches and you hear guys going, I think the noise came from down here, and she literally grabs the guy's gun from the ground and then blasts her way through like 6 or 7 dudes. It's just like okay.
I get the game's intention. It was like, it's him or her, and it's quite an emotional thing, I imagine, to take a life. It's a video game all the same, but she has no problem taking the rest of their lives.
No, no, no. You wouldn't do either. You know, they're terrible people because the game decides that you have to kill them, so they must be bad. I mean, a game wouldn't have you kill good people. That's all I'm saying. So, Lara Croft, forever in emotional turmoil, but from the other end of the gun, the right end of the gun, some would say. It is really good. It is really good. It's absolutely gorgeous. Like it's still a beautiful looking game. Weird in some aspects. The rain effect is weird, but the game's beautiful and plays really well. I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying it.
This is the one you
Lovely.
double dip though, isn't it? You've gone and bought them all
Triple,
on the deck, haven't you? Of course you
triple
triple
dip.
Minimum.
dipped. Oh, of course you did.
He's got it for his fridge.
Yeah, I think I originally bought it on 360 and then bought it on PlayStation 4 and then bought the definitive version as well.
There'll
And
be
then bought
games that
this.
just won't die. There'll be games that just never go out of circulation or never like fall into the internet archive because Luvva keeps buying them. And they'll post a net sale of like one a decade because Luvva decided to buy it on a different console.
That's
Just
it. John Sherry was like he's the day one
He's
pre-order
the day one
elite edition.
deluxe bonus edition. Yeah.
yeah.
But Lava is the long term. The next edition version, the remastered, the HD, the collection.
It doesn't even have to be different. It just has to go on sale.
He's probably gonna try and find a OG unbugged day one Faz for the PC as well. He'll try and buy that some way somehow as well, unpatched and whatnot.
I think he can just roll it back, but I'm
Yeah.
not going to. I'm not going to.
Don't do
I've
it.
no interest. I've no interest. That challenge this week is enough for me, to be quite honest. But yes, speaking of things that are enough, if 1 hour of high scores, high stakes a week isn't enough for you, where can you find more content? We're all over the internet. The easiest place to find us all over the internet is just go to highscoreshighstakes.com. Top of the homepage, you'll see links to Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Blue Sky, YouTube, the whole heap. Highscoreshighstakes.com. If you like the podcast, you've been listening to this for a good wee while and you haven't yet rated it, please give us a rating 1 to 5 stars on whatever podcast platform you're listening to us on. If you want to give us a written review, even better because the algorithms love it. It loves it. But yeah, that is our housekeeping out of the way. That is our what are we playing out of the way. Now we have to get to the business end of the podcast, and that is, of course, our challenge game, which was Dead or Alive 5 final round. Shall we get there now, gentlemen?
Take me there.
Say with a bit more
Let's go.
joy though.
Yay! Dead or Alive 5 final round. Let's go! And here we are. The challenge game, Dead or Alive 5 final round. The 5th in this fighting game series. The often forgotten final fighting game series. I'm without spoiling the rest of the podcast too much, it's probably forgotten for a pretty good reason. But anyway, Cardinal, I'm interested. I have a wee bit of a history with Dead or Alive. I think you might too. So tell me, Dead or Alive, what's your history with it? Do you have one?
Oh, ooh, demo discs. Take me back. Yeah, Dead or Alive 2. I remember thinking, what on earth is this? A fighting game? I'll try it. Hang on a minute. What are these? And that's when I discovered. Anyway, and it was interesting. It was interesting fighting game for sure. And it just stood out from the other fighting games a little
I wonder
for
why.
its graphical nature was different.
To be fair to Dead or Alive 2, I remember buying Dead or Alive 2 for the Sega Dreamcast, and it was stunning. Like it still
It
is.
looked good.
It still is.
Yeah.
Dead or Alive 2 still looks amazing.
But apart from that, that's my only history of this game or this game
Dead or
series.
Alive 2, the demo disc. Tomahawk, have you ever played Dead or Alive before?
This is always one that has eluded me. I'm always a bit aware of Dead or Alive as a series and what it is, but I've always really been a Tekken kind of guy. So Dead or Alive
Mhm.
just never really came
just
into my
weren't Tekken
periphery,
with it.
basically.
Mm,
Exactly.
Okay.
My only real experience, again, hands-on experience of this game has been for this challenge.
I bet
And
you.
that
Okay.
was saying something.
Yeah. So my history with Dead or Alive is much like both of yours, to be fair. I remember playing Dead or Alive on the PlayStation which was a demo disc, and it was pretty good. It reminded me of Virtua Fighter, only a lot more simple. The favorite part of Dead or Alive 1 is when you knocked them out of the ring. It wasn't an automatic ring out like it was in Virtua Fighter or anything like that, but it was laced with mines. So if you knocked them out of the ring, they landed on a mine and got blown back into the ring so you can continue to pummel
Oh,
them.
okay, that's quite cool.
And then I bought Dead or Alive 2 in the Dreamcast, and it was incredible. It was an incredible game. Really, really good. The big issue with Dead or Alive 2 was the reversal mechanic was so overpowered. You could literally win that game without ever throwing a punch, without ever throwing a kick, just reverse everything the opponent did. Every time you reversed it, it'd take about a quarter of the health bar. So 4 reversals, you win the game. But it was really good, really revolutionary too. People forget Dead or Alive how revolutionary it was. On the Sega Dreamcast, it ran on full 480p, 60 frames a second. It had like real-time reflections and stuff like that. Well, really rudimentary reflections. The big thing it brought into fighting games was the multi-tiered combat arenas that Tekken then
Oh, okay.
incorporated. That started with Dead or Alive 2. It's always been revolutionary. It's always been graphically beautiful. Dead or Alive 3 on the original Xbox, bought it, played it for half an hour, did not like, and then dropped the series completely. I don't think I've played one religiously since 2. Definitely haven't played this until this challenge.
I
And
mean, you say that, and I did quite like how this game looked. Like
mhm,
the graphical style of it is very much a Japanese style, we'll say that much, but it looked
well,
great. I
yeah,
I
it
did
does.
very much enjoy how the game looked as in a graphical sense. But yes,
Yeah,
Despicable.
solid.
yeah. I think
Love it. Let me just roll back on some of your history with the Dead or Alive because I remember
yes,
a certain game copy code you were given as part of a sort of journalist thing. I believe it
yes.
was Dead or Alive Beach Volleyball.
3 Venus edition. It was on the PlayStation Vita. It was very good.
Nice.
I enjoyed it. It's a nice wee life sim, and it was. I'm a big believer of female sports. I want to support them all I can, and just so happens
Mhm.
beach volleyball happens to be my favorite female sport. I'm just a massive fan of it. The Brazilian team are incredible. I watch it every year at the Olympics. It's incredible. So what a sport. I'm just supporting female sports, and I think you should do the same, Cardinal.
Couldn't agree more. I'm
We
sure it
had
was a
that
great
answer
game.
pretty locked and loaded, so
I did. I also had the first volleyball game on the original Xbox, which was also a genuinely good volleyball game.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You can't fault that.
But yes, final round, Dead or Alive 5, final round. I've never played it before. I know that the original Dead or Alive 5 was on Xbox 360, and it was a really early title on Xbox 360, maybe.
Hmm.
So this is just like the last sort of update for it. And it's supposedly the most balanced version of the game, which terrifies me because it's dreadfully unbalanced. Um,
yes.
and I have a lot to say about this game, but I think what we should do is watch the gameplay. So what we've done this week for the challenge is basically it is a survival mode. We try to come up with ideas of how to make this challenge different from our previous fighting games. There's literally one thing you can do in fighting games, and that is fight. And I think we've had 4 fighting games already, and there's always been us versus each other. And we thought, why not do a survival mode? Only in the recording of all these episodes that has it dawned on me how many survival modes we've done this season.
Yeah.
Literally, this is the third, I think.
Oh,
Um,
madness.
but that's what we've done. We've done survival mode. So highest score wins. The scoring system is going to be 3, 2, and 1. There's no bonus points and there are no style points. It is 3, 2, 1. Whoever gets the highest score wins. Whoever gets the lowest score comes last. And that is it. I think our running order is going to be top of the league to bottom of the league. So me, Cardinal, and then Tomahawk's gameplay.
Cool.
So without any further ado, let's cast our eyes to Dead or Alive final round. Mr. Lava Lovers. Attempt. Let's go. And here we are. We're at the big dogs game. My challenge attempt, Dead or Alive 5. I had no idea what to expect here at all. At all. I mean, I know it's a survival mode, but I didn't know if what the mechanics were of the survival mode, if you were going to keep the energy from one fight until the next opponent, or if it was going to fully heal you up
Quick little
before
recharge. Yeah.
every fight. Yeah. So yeah, without any further ado, Cardinal, let's hit that play button. Let's watch this. I'll talk you through what what I did. So I picked
What?
Zach. Okay. The
Okay.
reason I picked Zach is because he's horrendously OP. So
Is he?
he's
Is
he's
he?
You make it
ridiculous.
short work.
Well, yeah.
Ooh.
So the way this works, and I'm sure you guys noticed this, is you're basically going up through difficulties.
Yeah.
So yeah, so your first two or three opponents are actually really quite easy. They'll be quite passive
You've nearly got
and
bait here.
all that good stuff. Please, I'm Zach. I was just letting Ayame, whatever you call her. I think she was in with a chance. She gave me a good eye fight, so she did.
I
But
say that's tight into the wire there, but
yeah, all that matters is that you progress through. So yeah, so the way it works is after your first opponent, you'll get a full health heal. After that, then it goes down incrementally until you're getting less and less health back. I
I
also
love that.
noticed that if you attack the opponents while they're on the ground, they spit out like food items or drink or sometimes golden guitars for some reason. If you pick them up, it doesn't give you health, it gives you a points bonus. And the more you bounce them off the walls and off the floor, then you start getting multipliers for your score. It's
yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
yeah, it's crazy. There's just so many like wee hidden mechanics in here. So there is.
Like you say
Um,
about the guitar, I didn't understand
mhm.
what that was meant to do because like you get a little glow around your energy bar, but maybe I just didn't know how to activate it or what I was meant to do with it. But it looked cool and it made the guitar sound for like a second. So
It does,
I was
yeah,
like, pick up that. That sounds like
yeah.
fun.
As far as I'm aware, it is literally just points. Um, I think your health bar starts glowing when you get like a high multiplier. So you see above my score there, I've picked up an item that's giving me a multiplier, which means just everything I pick up is double, obviously.
Okay.
But it's an interesting game. So for those of you who've never played Dead or Alive, it's a 3-button fighting game. It's way more about movement around the arenas than it is sort of technical combat. So you have a block button, a kick button, and a punch button. That is it. The blocking is also your reversal button. You have to time it. But you have to know if they're going to attack you high, low, or medium. So this is the only fighting game I think I've ever played where holding down back doesn't protect you from medium attacks at all. It only protects you
Okay.
from low. It's strange. You need to be able to read your opponents. And one thing I find about this is it's maybe the age of the game is the animations weren't particularly the wind up wasn't short, and it made it really difficult to know if they're going to go high, low, or medium. Am I the only
Yeah.
one in this?
I
Yeah,
had
no,
no.
there's
I
a
didn't
lot
even know
of
there was a medium hit. To be honest, I didn't know how to block because I had one look at the controls, and I'll talk about that in my gameplay, but it made no sense to me. So, but he's just you're a ferocious kicker here. You're just kicking them into submission
Well,
and picking up watermelons.
Zach is a kickboxer, so most of his good attacks are kicks. To be fair, he's strong. He's got like he seems to have like a high health reserve as well, so you can make mistakes.
Yeah,
Um, like Dead or Alive 2, though, the reversal is really strong in this game, and you'll see me constantly trying to go for reversals like there. It buys you, it takes a lot of health off them, and it buys you space, it buys you time to move around the arena and pick up those items. I think the key to this is picking up those items, to be honest, because
yeah.
sometimes they're worth
oh,
like
absolutely.
50,000 points and stuff like this. It's crazy.
I didn't know how
This
to
is one of those funny
strafe.
games that comes down to
So
sort of RNG though as well. I think
Yeah,
I don't know, maybe you guys had this issue as well. I found that in like the attempts before my actual attempt, there was a lot of, oh, I've done really well. I'll just do one more, and then you get completely tanked in the first
completely tanked.
round.
Hmm. Yeah,
I
I
just was
find that
like,
too.
the 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 skill ceiling doesn't seem to exist, and they'll start you wherever the game deems it fit at the time,
Yeah,
and then you
I
work
find
from
that it
there and
depends on
figure
the
it out.
character. There's one character in particular, I don't know her name, but she's like a demon, is the best way to describe it. She glows purple and she can
Yes,
teleport
right.
around. She every time I come up against her,
Yes.
she absolutely wailed on me because she can just teleport instantly. There's very little warm up. You kick her and she just teleports behind you and then launches you into like a 7-hit combo that absolutely decimates your health. It's a weird one. It is a weird one. I don't know if it's good, this game at all.
No, it is a laugh though, because I think I said this prior to record. It was like, why is this like roster like 90% females, and why do they A, all look the same, and just B, just can absolutely decimate you in like 4 hits
Welcome
if
to
they
Dead
get
or
a run,
Alive.
if they get a running start at you.
Because they have to go to the beach and play volleyball.
They don't all
They're
look
in a
the
rush.
same. They don't all look the same. They've got many unique different outfits and many microtransactions that you can buy more outfits of
Yes.
varying gratuity. But
Now, what I do love about playing this at this time of the year is that a lot of the characters have their Christmas skin.
Yeah.
beautiful.
I like that
I
too.
thought that was quite nice going through the levels, and just occasionally you'll have a fighter in a Santa costume or in a Santa bikini, or the cyborgs would just look like Santa. And it was just like that. That was quite cool.
I
to be
enjoyed that
fair to the
Yeah.
game.
And that is me.
Oh
That
my
is me.
goodness.
18
wins.
opponents.
Wow.
18 opponents. And I think my final score is like 220 something. Yeah, 221,006.
2,216,000.
A lot of numbers. A lot of numbers. So it is. But yeah, that is my score. It puts me 5th in the leaderboard. Hopefully it puts me 1st on the high scores, high stakes leaderboard. The only leaderboard that counts in this podcast. So it is. Sarah, though, getting, 300 million, whatever it is. It's crazy, by the way. I'm just saying that. But I think before we get into Cardinal Smith's gameplay, that we go and do something that we haven't done in a very long time, because it has been quite a few episodes since all 3 of us have been here, just because of the time of year and just we're all very busy people and all that sort of stuff. So I think I should pass the mic to Tomahawk, because he may be asking me and Cardinal to name some games. Let's get there now. Let's go.
Yes, as Luvva was saying, we're back with Name That Game. We've missed about 3 weeks or so. Just as you say, we've all had other things going on, and you can't really do it when it's 1-to-1, really. As much as Luvva would have loved to argue that point and just gain more points by default. So, to those who have randomly come across High Scores, High Stakes and don't know what Name That Game is, Name That Game is where one of us is tasked with going through Amazon game reviews and picking out the weird, the obscure, the controversial, and pit against Luvva and Cardinal for points in a winner takes nothing league table. If I remember correctly, the scores are pretty much at a dead heat where it's possibly 6 apiece.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, Luvva's
But what I'm going
whitewash
to try and
is
do is we are going to guess the ever so slightly. I'm going to go for a whitewash in episode 1, and that is he's doing well. We'll say that
whitewash
much.
this.
You win
So
nothing,
we're going
mate.
to try and see. We're going to try and see if we can create a little bit of separation then. So are you guys ready for game number 1?
Born
Really
ready.
not. Really not.
Born
Absolutely
ready.
Perfect. Well, we'll get straight into it. This was a 5-star review and a verified purchase by Chris
Ooh.
Nixon.
Big Nixon.
I wish it was the remake we were hoping for, but still, I can't count the hours I spent on the Xbox 360 playing all those years ago, and it does at least have the full HD 1080p graphics, which hold up surprisingly well on my PlayStation 4. Great value too. Wonderful game. If you've not played it, please do give it a go. The story is utterly fantastic, as it is the open world created by the developer back in its initial release. Cardinal Smith, Mr. Luvva Luvva, name that game.
PS4?
Yeah. From 360 to PS4.
Interesting. I am going to go with Red Dead Redemption.
Cardinal Smith, would you like to hazard a guess?
Not really. Dishonor.
Well, I can tell you that one of you has named that game.
I can't believe I got it. Incredible.
Unbelievable. I forgot Dishonored even existed.
I know.
And Mr. Luvva Luvva, it is Red Dead Redemption.
Oh.
Man, I've never seen the disappointment that well done. Very well done for that. Yeah, what more can you say about that? Actually, Red Dead Redemption. In fact, game number one
Easy.
for today. To be fair, I didn't think that there was an awful lot to go on for that review, especially when I was trolling through Red Dead, in particular. But
Yeah. I'll
yeah,
be fair.
uh,
I got it on 1080p, PlayStation 4, open world.
not
That's
bad.
what I
I
got
did
it
have
on.
to redact. I redacted the release year and Rockstar as well, so I
Yeah.
feel as if they would have
GTA
definitely
Online.
given it away.
Hey, we're back, baby. Guessing games
Well,
for fun.
what we've done is we've created separation in the Name That Game League. Uh, what say we use this little break in Dead or Alive to get back to Dead or Alive?
Let's go.
Take me.
And here we are. After thrashing Cardinal at the first round of Name That Game, let's see if I can thrash Cardinal on Dead or Alive 5 final round. There only is one way to find out, Cardinal. I'm going to pass you the mic. You're going to talk us through your thoughts and feelings on the game. Me and Tom will jump in whenever it's appropriate to do so. But let's hit that play button and let's see how we got on.
Let's let's go. So this is literally my third time trying this survival challenge, and I picked a different character. It's a lady in a cloak, and she's mysterious, but she's
She
one of the
is.
most covered up characters in the game. Um, it's incredible, and I'm finding a cheerleader, and look at that perfection. So one thing I did find struggling was the movement and the controls I mentioned earlier. So when you
Mm-hmm.
open up the control scheme in the menu, it opens up like a website. It kind of looks, which is like a PDF document, and it describes the buttons as like P for punch equals triangle,
Mm-hmm.
and then it talks about the moves, but uses like P and K rather than triangle and circle. And it's
Yeah.
like, what have they done? Why would they do this? Just
Yeah,
use the
punch and kick
buttons.
is not actually transcribable to the console that you're using it on. I did find that to be incredibly frustrating, especially when you're at the character select menu and it gives you their like unique attacks. And I'm going,
Yeah,
I don't know what buttons I'm pressing, let alone what's a punch and what's a kick.
But
yeah.
it's standardized. So the reason they do that is this is still released in arcades in Japan, and it's just
No, no,
standardized. So punch and
no.
kick is
It's
standard across
lazy.
all of them. Just wait if you ever
It's
get into fighting
lazy.
games when they drop P and K and just start numbering the buttons. So
So look, the
1
girl
to
in the
6.
bikini is down, and there's the electric guitar. Now, one thing I don't know how to do is to strafe left and right. I couldn't figure it out. And when I like double tap like the
Yep.
positions, it just doesn't seem to work, or maybe it did a little, but so I never really picked up these bonus items
Oh
unless they
dear.
happen to be in my line of sight. But we're three to
Unless you're
five
actually
wins.
like dropped on
Fighting
top
over
of it,
them.
you're not picking
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So I'm spiking Spike from Buffy the Vampire Slayer here,
Yeah.
and he's getting wrecked. Apart from him wrecking me there, but I'm on 5 wins. And so
6
far,
now.
this is my six. This is my best run 2 days so far. I like this electrified fence thing. I kind of hope there would be like a different arena other than this one for the survival challenge.
I think
I
you
prefer
can
like
change it, but
maybe a beach, maybe like a nice fort. Anyway,
some sort of
uh,
volleyball setting, possibly.
take me back to the Dead or Alive 2 arenas. Anyway, the health bar, I was near really low there, and then when I defeat the person, it like 3/4 of the health bar
Yeah.
returns instantly. So eventually I find some sort of way of stunning the people a little. I can't
Yeah.
rely on it. That
You
sort
do
of
have a
allows me
really
a few
good rhythm
seconds.
here. As soon as they spawn into the map, like it's a
Yes.
good rush attack. Uh,
Eh,
so you're not giving them
Yeah,
much time to even get set up. You're already in and taking damage, and it's doing you quite well, to be honest.
it
Yeah,
feels a
you're
bit
doing really
hacky,
well.
but once they're down, it sort of gives you a chance to wheel on them a bit. So, and I felt like that was my best chance because I wasn't really learning all the moves quickly as
Oh
I'd like.
no, not
So,
at all.
one of the reasons I chose Phase 4, as she's known here, is because she's just speed. She's low in the power, like 1 out of 5 on power, but 5 out of 5 on speed. And I
Yeah.
just thought, okay, I'm going to use that I'm just going to focus on that and hopefully it gets me further. And it did, because I chose one of the main characters in my first two runs, and didn't get as far as this at all.
It's a good tactic. It's as good as any. So it is. This game is weird. You go into the move list, like some of the combinations it wants you to do, and this game does. It's a fast fighting game. It doesn't give you much breathing space. But some of the combinations it wants you to do, it is frankly absurd. Like there's a lot of double diagonal down, punch and kick together, and then you go into your block button, and then you have to go do double diagonal up forward twice, and then into your punch.
It
And
seems to be a
it's
lot of
insane.
it's a lot of
Like
jockeying and juggling. I think that's what the game sort of wants you to do, but
it's all about
Yeah.
movement. But
trying to not have that momentum broken by a rogue punch or a rogue like sweeping kick to throw
Yeah.
you off, really, because you could be building up those multipliers and then next thing you know, like
Or getting
that's it,
distracted by
you're
a Santa outfit.
back to zero again, and you've just been backfisted by another Santa as well.
I know
Yeah.
this guy. Well, that's a statement. This guy just comes in, jumps to the arena, and slaps me for half my health immediately, and pushes me across the board, and KOs me
And then
just like
KOs
that.
you in 3 combos.
Like, it was ridiculous. It was just like, oh, my round is over.
That's
Holy cow!
insane. I thought your boy came in and wrecked me, but he wrecked you.
But that's it, like
Like
that's the skill.
Lit
That seems to be like
raises.
the skill ladder from like when you hit like 10 wins plus, you then are just bombarded with these like real high octane, high hitting, like hard hitting, high combos. It's
yeah,
insane.
it throws you up the difficulty really, really, really quickly. I find, like I know you said at Tom at the start, it does. There is RNG a little bit about what sort of level character you're going to fight next, but it does seem to like bring you up on a curve. Sometimes the curve's a lot more steep than it is on other runs, but it hits a point where it's like, oh my goodness, how am I meant to beat this guy? Because they block everything, they walk around you, and then they're slamming you with 7, 8, 9 hit combos and just absolutely destroying you. And it quickly, when you hit that point, it quickly ceases to be fun because as I know what you were saying there, Cardinal, you pick a fast character so you can absolutely stun them and then just wail on them. They can do exactly the same to you. If they stun
100%.
you, then you're lost. You're lost.
Yeah.
There's no getting it back unless you get a really well timed, lucky sort of reversal
Yeah.
and buy yourself some time.
So on
But
the
not
scoreboard
bad.
here, I'm 8th on the leaderboard with
You are
1,311,400.
400.
So, which, to be fair, I'm happy enough with my.
Not bad at all.
That's it.
Yeah.
I think if you hit the million threshold, I think that's quite a good score. It's not like it was when we were playing Time Splitters a couple of weeks ago, where they were saying like, oh, 40,000 is like the gold. So that in my
Yeah.
head was like the unattainable standard, where actually what we were doing was far surpassing that. Whereas now I'm seeing 3 million as a score and thinking that's got a
High.
bit of a grind.
That's
Yeah,
not
High.
I
happening.
would see
Yeah.
more unattainable as a high
Yeah.
score.
Yeah, 3 million. I have no idea how you get the 3 million. I have no idea how you get the 3 million. But it is what it is. Shall we get to the next Name That Game, gentlemen?
Yes, let's do it. Here we are, back with game number 2 in Name That Game. Luvva, well done on Red Dead Redemption. So you have now created a little bit of separation, but can we go 2-0 in
Let's
week
find
10? We have another 5-star review
Ooh.
by John. And here it is. I am only about 35% in this game, and I am enjoying every second of it. It is brilliant. The graphics are outstanding, and the gameplay is smooth. I heard there are bugs in this game when it was first released, but so far I've had no problems. The side missions are great fun and earn you cash to improve your character and weapons. Normally I would skip the side missions in some games because they can be boring, but not here. It's all good, fun, and enjoyable. Cardinal Smith, Mr. Luvva, name that game.
Okay, so like it feels like it could be lots of games. You
Yeah.
do side mission, you earn some sort of currency, and you improve your character and weapons. okay, okay. I am going to I'm going to pick a game I've played, so I'm going to pick Final Fantasy 16 because you can do those things and it looks gorgeous.
Love it.
Interesting.
Would you care to hazard a guess?
I thought Cardinal was going to go for what I wanted to go for. I am going to go for Cyberpunk.
Oh, that was my next one.
Is it 2077?
Yeah.
One of you has named that game,
Oh, you
and
see
it
if
is Mr. Lava has named
Oh,
Cyberpunk 2077.
what's that,
That is
Cardinal? That's the sound of a
stellar.
whitewash.
That
Unhappy.
is stellar. This is really funny because I obviously did a bit of a last minute compiling these games together, so I didn't really have any hints to go. But the first hint for it was that they have only just recently said that they are not putting in any more patches or updates or DLCs for this game because their next project will be
The Witcher
happening.
4.
The
And
Witcher
they've just
4, yeah.
released. They've just released a new
And then
patch
they
for it.
just released the patch today, and I'm just like, oh, good lord.
I honestly thought Cardinal, because I was making the
I
notes
thought
there, and I thought
I
Cardinal's
thought
going to jump in
Cardinal would
here.
have got that straight away, but you're doing the thing that I did like 2 seasons ago, where it was Final Fantasy, or The Last of Us would have been my go-to.
Yeah. But
Sometimes
also,
it
I
does
thought
fit the
I thought this might have gone on longer than 15 seconds again. But love it. Is that
Oh,
all you're
you were trying to
capable
create
of?
drama. But yes, so that is yeah, that is Cyberpunk 2077. Funny enough,
What's the
I
score now? Is that 7-all?
it is 8-6, I believe, is the score now.
Oh.
Incredible scenes.
But
This is what the people want.
I actually unprecedented scenes here. But I think what we should do is we should head back to Dead or Alive 5 and see how I get on.
Yeah, let's go.
Ooh.
That's where the
Let's
real
do it.
drama is. And here we are. We're back. Hopefully with some high stake drama, because let's be honest here, name that game was incredibly impressive for me, but a damp squib for Cardinal.
Outrageous.
So let's hope that Tomahawk, you can put up a bigger fight against my high score than what Cardinal did in the MA game. I think there's not much point in beating around the bush here. I think what we should do is get Cardinal to hit that play button. I'm going to pass the mic to Tomahawk. He's going to talk us through who he picked, why he picked him, what his tactics were, how he found the whole challenge. Tomahawk, the stage is yours. Let's go.
So,
And of
in
course,
terms of
you picked
who I picked
Hayate.
was Hayate, and the only reason I picked him was because he reminded me of Hwoarang from Tekken.
Yeah,
And was just
yeah.
like, he can do kicks and he can do a hell of a lot of damage with that kick combo. And
Yep.
having watched your guys' runs makes me feel a bit better about my run because a lot of it was button spamming
Spam the
and
one move. Yeah.
hope that you can just put them in a corner. So the run's not going to be technically proficient, but what it will be fast and furious, I think. I think we've all adopted that approach, which is quite
Yes.
nice.
Yes, it's just like, what's my hardest hitting move? Can I hit it as often as I need to? That's basically Dead or Alive survival mode.
That's
You've
it. Like, it was
you've only
just,
hit 2 rounds down and you're already in 700,000. So
Yeah.
oh dear, I just noticed that myself. Like, it was one of those ones I'd gone over and over again with him. I even thought maybe I'll switch the character up, and I went with your boy Ninja Gaiden is who I went with after that, and I got
Hayabusa.
decimated. I got absolutely decimated every time I played with him because he had very mid stats, whereas
Mm-hmm.
Hayate was quite quick, is quite strong,
Mm-hmm.
and I just thought, right, I'm not, I don't have the time to try and learn multiple characters. Get one and get one just about enough to be passing.
Mm-hmm.
And in previous runs, this Alpha 152, we were talking about her earlier. She can
Yeah.
teleport and she can pretty much evade most attacks. Like, I'm so glad I got her quite early doors because I didn't
Yeah.
have to worry about it beyond that.
She's a nightmare to deal with, so she is. She is so strong. So quick on the teleports too. It's just crazy. So she is. But yeah, you're doing absolutely crazy stuff here, like 1.4 million and 7 wins. It is crazy to see. This here
This
guard as
hideous
No,
well
it
wings.
was a pain.
was quite nice because it was like doing a lot of dash attacks with that triple kick, and then doing a lot of dash attacks with the grapple charge, and then
Mm-hmm.
forgetting which way I was pointing. So sometimes it would be a suplex, sometimes it would just be a charge attack, and then other times it would just be
Oh my
Oh
days.
my goodness.
yeah.
I
There
was
was a lot
surprised.
going on in this one.
I thought you would have picked Hayabusa, to be honest. I expected to see Ryu Hayabusa come out with you just because of Ninja
Okay.
My,
Gaiden.
my my plan originally was that, and I thought to myself, after I kind of thought I'd hit my ceiling with Hayate, I thought I'll go to Hayabusa and then see how I do. And I wasn't doing very well, so I thought, no, I don't want to have to relearn a new character. For all the time I was playing this, I think my play stats for this was an hour tops.
Yeah,
So I was just
yeah,
like, no, go with what I know, go with what I figured out in the 3 buttons that I've had to press
yeah.
the entire game.
It's working.
That's
It
it.
is
Like, and
working.
Oh my
if you can
goodness.
spam them into that corner
Buttons.
and do like, I think you can kick them and then kick them again, and you'll retain some sort of combo for, but them bouncing off the electric fence.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was quite nice,
So score wise, 2.1 million. Big
Yep.
score.
and I'm
Now,
getting a lot of
He's up
Santa
against Santa.
costumes here as well.
Yeah.
yeah, you've kept that multiplier a long, long, long time. I'm not too sure how you've kept that multiplier for so long because I thought once you get knocked down, your multiplier disappears. But it doesn't. It seems to be timed, but I don't know how'd you keep the multiplier for so long?
I'm
I
not
know it comes
100%
from
sure.
wall bounces, but I've no idea.
I think it was literally just keep them against the
Oh,
wall, keep them
Oh,
against
that
the
came
okay.
fence,
from
and just
nowhere.
bounce them. Yeah, I was outdone by myself.
That came from nowhere. Like totally out of nowhere. Um, so it did. That
Oh
is
my
crazy.
goodness. That is a high score too.
That is a high score. So yeah, so you are fourth in your leaderboard, which is the highest of all of us. And also your score is the highest of all of us. So it is 2,317,400 points. It is about 100,000 more than mine. Almost exactly a
That's
hundred
Can you
thousand
close.
more
scroll
than
back,
mine.
Cardinal, and see how many like rounds I actually went through?
11.
Because it's the one thing I never even made track of.
Yeah,
I think
I you lost out with 13 wins.
13. Yeah.
13 win. So
13.
I don't
Yeah.
even think I lasted. I don't even think I was there nearly as long. But I think
Yeah, no,
my
I
game
I
plan was
lasted
just sheer aggression.
I lasted 18. So yeah. But yeah,
Wow.
let's put a pen in Dead or Alive final round. And let's talk about what this does for the real leaderboard, the high scores, high stakes leaderboard. Let's go there now. And here we are. Another challenge is all done. Dead or Alive 5. Right, before we talk about the scores, let's get what we thought of Dead or Alive 5, because I have a lot I think about this game. Who wants to go first?
I thought it looked. I thought it looked good. I thought the control system was horrible, and nobody can change my mind on that. My hand hurt a little from after
Mm-hmm.
playing this challenge like 3 times. It was maybe a lot of button smashing in unusual button places,
Yep.
but it was all right. It was all right. I've deleted it because I'm not going to play it again because I
Yeah.
don't.
Oh yeah,
There's nothing that's going to draw me back to it other than this challenge.
Mm-hmm.
But it it's nice to see that Dead or Alive's still out there, I guess.
Yes. Yeah, I mean,
That's
it's an old game now standards. It is older.
okay.
I don't know if there's a Dead or Alive 6. I have no idea.
Dead or
No
Alive
idea
6. I
whatsoever.
was looking at this while we were chatting. Dead or Alive 6 was released in 2019.
Yeah, there
So
we go.
Oh my goodness.
7 years after this one came out
Mm-hmm.
originally. No, I want to just sort of mirror what Cardinal was saying. Really, there is a fun little game in there,
Yep.
because what I quite like about a fighting game is that one doesn't need mad technical proficiency. If you can hit the buttons quicker and heavier and harder, maybe you can. you're going to come away with the W. And that's what I
Yeah.
quite like about like throwaway fighters. I think I would like to call this one. But as Cardinal said, it pretty much as soon as I think it was in halfway through uploading my footage, I was like, I'm just gonna bin this game. I do not need this anymore.
Yeah.
But fun. It was fun, bordering on getting frustrating because as it is with all score-based challenges we do, you're fighting for finite points at that by the
Perhaps.
end of it.
Yeah. It's a weird one. It's a fighting game of like two sides. It's a really simplistic fighting game that has aspirations of being really, really deep and really in depth and really engaging, and it's none of those things. The blocking system is the weirdest I've ever used in a fighting game. It is this awkward mix between Tekken and Virtua Fighter, and it's not as good as either of them because it doesn't know what it wants to be. It's a block button and a reversal button at the same time. So Tekken is it's difficult in this game. I hate the fact that your crouch blocking doesn't protect you from medium attacks at all, or doesn't seem to.
Yeah.
In my experience, I find that the character wind up sort of way too fast, and the reaction time that game especially have is just frighteningly high. The control system is weird. The control system is far too simple. It
So strange.
again it wants to be Tekken, but it's stripped away two buttons from Tekken. I like Tekken with his like limbs, left arm, right arm, left leg, right leg. I like that. It's intuitive. It makes sense. The fact that this one's just arms and legs, and then a reversal button is weird.
Yeah,
It looks
no, I get
gorgeous.
that.
It looks gorgeous. It plays quite well. But there's absolutely nothing. There's nothing here to keep you playing it, other than the fact that we were competing against each other in a league table for a podcast. There's absolutely
Yeah.
no reason at all to go back to Dead or Alive. In
Does
my
this game
opinion,
have like a deep lore? Like, you know the way Tekken has
um,
like a really deep lore and story, Street
no,
Fighter
Yeah,
has a
yeah.
lore and story. Is
Are they
Dead
all
or
like
Alive just
beach
like
volleyballs players, and they just like fell out one
no,
day?
no. There's so
Still
many characters
wheeling
in this
each other.
game. There's like family dramas. There's father, daughters. There's brothers. There's sisters. It's all very traditional fighting game story where dad treated daughter poorly, daughter trains and wants to get revenge on dad, or there's two characters in this where their relationship is really, really good. Dad trained daughter how to be a pro wrestler, and now they fight around the world together as a tag team and all this here business. It's just your typical nonsense fighting game lore. It's no Tekken. Tekken's lore is so complicated and so dense. It's really atypical for a fighting game. It's so dense and atypical, in fact, that Tekken 7 had to completely retcon
retcon a
three
lot of
games
stuff.
worth.
Yeah.
3 games worth for basically from Tekken 4 to Tekken 6 no longer counts to the lore of Tekken. They just retconned the whole thing because it was just like there's too much. It's crazy. What are you talking about? And Tekken 7 had to bring it back to basics. But yeah, no, it's no Tekken 7. Absolutely no
No,
Tekken
it did.
7.
The game sort of strikes me as having this like home and away kind of vibe in terms of if I'm going to categorize it as like how high stakes a TV drama could ever be, it's home and away, but in a fighting game setup.
Yeah, it has the basis of something really good. It
Cardinal looks
really
really
does.
triggered by that home and away comment.
I can't
I
believe
don't
it.
know.
Home and Away mentioned in High Scores High Stakes podcast. Australians,
It's
dramas.
a good one. It's a good one though, because Home and Away was a really bad shadow for Neighbours. Neighbours was the infinitely superior soap. Let's be honest here. They're both dreadful, but Neighbours is head and shoulders better than Home and Away. But Home and Away wanted to be Neighbours. Dead or Alive wants to be Tekken, but Tekken's head and shoulders better than it. It's miles ahead of it. In fact, it's so
Like,
far ahead of it that it may as well not be in the same genre.
so are we
Does this
saying
say
like
something about this game that we're comparing it to Australian soaps and not other fighting games?
Yeah.
Is this where we are with Dead or Alive right now? Is this our
well,
opinion of this?
Home and Away wasn't cancelled or shut down like Neighbours was, but Neighbours now on Amazon. You can catch it for free. But yeah, Home and Away is still
Okay.
good.
This is enough. Before we start talking about Kylie Minogue and Jason Donovan getting married in 1988, wasn't it? Let's move on here. Let's move on. Let's get to the brass taxes here.
I have
Let's
the song from that scene at my wedding, by the way. Let's move on.
Incredible. Of course,
incredible
Cardinal did.
scenes. Incredible scenes. But anyway, yes, let's get down to brass taxes. Let's get down to the reason we're all here. We want to know who won, who came last, where the points are being doled out, and what it means for our league table. So let's recap what we just saw there. In third place in that challenge, it's Cardinal Smith with a score of
Dang.
1,311,400. Second place with a score of 2,216,000 is me. And in first place with a score of 2,317,400 is Tomahawk. So that means, Cardinal, you're taking home 1 point. I'm taking home 2 points. Tomahawk's taking home 3 points. And what that means for our league table is this. In third place with 32 points is Cardinal.
Oh my goodness.
In second place with 33 points is Tomahawk. And first place also on 33 points. But I'm not there because of challenge wins, because me and Tomahawk have now officially won 4 challenges each this season. I am there by virtue of alphabetical order, is myself. So just to recap that, Cardinal, you're third on 32 points. Tomahawk, you're second on 33 points. I am first on 33 points top due to alphabetical order. It has come down to that. It is absolute insanity, this league this year. It has been so close pretty much all season. I think the biggest gap we have seen in the league this season was way back in episode 5, where the episode kicked off with Tomahawk in the lead on 19 points and me in third and 15. 4 points has been the biggest gap between first and third all season. It is insane.
Yeah,
Outrageous.
that's crazy. But this is the laugh though, because like Cardinal has led the way for majority of the season. We've well established that over the weeks, and this shows because it happened to me as well. Like 2 back-to-back 1 point weeks, absolutely flips this table right round.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that we've got like I'm going to spoil it. We have our little winter amnesty period coming up here now.
Yep.
Before
No,
we
we
go
do.
back into
What a name for it.
into competition, but yeah, lots like everything to play for. But like a bad week will still put you further adrift, at least anyway. But you know, only by a point of the. You don't want to be
Yeah.
at the bottom, really. You don't want to have to be relying on a big point week.
But that's what it's going to come down to. We've been unable to separate from one another for 10 weeks. It's going to come down to a big point week. That season-long challenge all of a sudden is looking really, really, really important. That could be, it's going to be the difference between first and third. It's crazy. I feel like I say this at the end of every episode, or have done for the last 4 or 5 weeks, but the league has never, ever, ever been this close for this long. Usually someone's totally cut adrift, but this year, no one has been, and it's great. It means competition is fierce, like absolutely fierce. Like some of our challenges this season have been super close. Like that last one there, literally 100,000 points in it, 100,000 points. So basically one win, one
We've
win.
had some ridiculous
Like
close
one item
games.
pickup with a bit of RNG on your side changes everything there. So that's just like I think that kind of is what's so good about Dead or Alive, and you like we're not great at it. Let's face it, we were mid at best, and that's realistically that could have been what it came down to at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's just crazy, crazy, crazy. But we do have a lot to go through in the wrap up section. I think we should get there now and talk about things we have to talk about. So let's get to the wrap up section.
Okay. Give me 2 seconds.
You look like you wanted to go. That's why.
Just getting the drive updated with the league table then.
See.
33, 33, 32, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh,
Okay.
Good.
Ready to go. Yeah.
1, 2, 3. And here we are, gentlemen. Another episode, all wrapped up. It's done for. The season is almost done as well. We only have what, 2 more challenges, and then league's over.
Oh no.
It's
Think.
This is gonna be
it's
much longer to go.
it flies by. It flies by. However, we have to talk about the rest of this season because obviously it is what, December the 16th today, which means next week's Christmas. The week after that is New Year's. So what we have to do is we're gonna freeze the league here, and we're gonna pick up with episode 11 of season 4 in the second-ish week of January. We will still have episodes coming out. We do have episodes ready and waiting to be unleashed upon the public over Christmas. But just for the sake of family life and a work-life podcast balance, the competition has to be frozen here. So this is it. It'll be a 3-week break, and then we'll come back in season 4, episode 11,
Fresh.
with an absolute banger of a challenge. And I feel like I want to spoil the challenge to keep people on tenterhooks for the return of the season 4. Shall we tell them what the actual challenge is?
I think so.
Or just
It's
the
an
game?
early Christmas. I think an early Christmas present to the
Okay.
listeners and the viewers.
Oh,
I think
Merry
they've earned
Christmas.
it. We do an awful lot of not telling them the challenge.
Yeah.
I think this one. I'm so excited about this one because I know that love is not.
I'm not. No, I'm not. Okay, so here's the deal. When we come back to competition on the second week of January, the challenge game is going to be Overcooked 2. And the challenge is an absolute potentially all-timer here. It is us and our wives will be teaming up to complete levels in, well, are we going high score or fastest? Is it just high score? I've never played Overcooked, so
It's score.
score.
It's
Yeah.
it has to be score. I think. Yeah.
Okay, so there we go. So us and our wives will be doing a challenge together to get the highest score in Overcooked 2. It has the
Oh
potential to
my
be an
goodness.
all-timer. Mrs. Luvva
It's a
is
friend ender.
no gamer.
It's a friend ender, marriage ender in the making. And
Yeah. It's
let's do it.
not. You're not gonna like build a marriage with this.
No,
You're,
No.
no,
You're gonna
I'm fully
heavily
expecting.
lean on that
So
relationship.
much fun about this one because, like, the wives, as supportive as they are about what we do for the podcast, don't care that we do the podcast.
They want nothing to do with it. It's something that happens over there. Don't bring it to me. But yeah, it should be it should be fun. I'm expecting my living room over Christmas to sound like a cutscene from Gordon's Kitchen Nightmares. But I don't know. I don't know what to expect. But that's what's happening. So we're going to take a 3-week break. So Christmas week, New Year's week, and the week after, we have episodes lined up. Episodes will still be coming out, but season 4 will continue after those episodes. So second week of January is when we're back with competition, and it should be an absolute doozy.
Lovely.
But that's the
There'll
future.
be a schedule on the socials as well. I think.
Yes,
By
and on.
the time this comes out, as usual, listening, the full schedule of what to expect for us will be in the wild and in the open for
Yeah.
everyone.
On the socials, on the homepage as well, which brings me on lovely to the social media and internet roundup. If you've liked what you've heard here and you want to give us a score, 1 to 5 star, give us what you think it deserves. If you want to give us a written review with honest feedback, really good constructive feedback, fire away and do a written review. If you want more high scores, high stakes content, the easiest place to find us wherever we are all over the internet. So Twitter, Twitch, Blue Sky, Instagram, YouTube, the whole heap. Just go to highscoreshighstakes.com. Top of the page, there's links to everywhere. If you want to play Phasmo with us, get yourself onto the Discord channel as well. There is a link for the Discord on top of the homepage, but it's also in the description of this episode and every episode we've done. If you want to play Phasmo, get in there, join the Phasmo community server, and say, let's play Phasmo, because we're playing it constantly. I know I am. But with all that being said, I don't think I have anything else to say, except I've been Mr. Levelova. This has been High Scores, High Stakes. Thanks for watching. See you Monday. Love you all. Bye.
Bye.
Auf Wiedersehen.